thinking of yet another Wilson.
Ambush Apostate says that they did a short of his most nasty parts.
Yeah, it's a really good video. Yeah.
Sounds like it should be more than a
Idaho. Yeah.
Excuse me, Dave
Idaho.
Murphy.
Was Dade here?
Saying hi. Dade is here. Hello. Excuse me.
That's right.
Excuse me.
All right, if you want to see good shorts, like, yeah.
Yes.
Dade is addictive to watch.
Not
I'm
in
gonna
his
start
shorts.
doing. Huh?
Not in his shorts. Go
watch
his shorts.
No. Watch his shorts.
Well, yeah.
Well, sometimes he might be in his shorts. I mean, we're not certain.
They have to come from somewhere.
It's ridiculous to be that attractive, Dade. Come on.
It's just rude.
It's inconsiderate.
Yeah.
To the rest of us.
Yes. Moscow, Idaho.
Yes, so he is from Moscow, Idaho.
Literally from Moscow. I love it.
I mean, it's fitting, but I didn't know that was the place.
Yeah, not in the way you think.
I can picture the people there.
There's a town in Wisconsin that was called Berlin, and then after World War II, they changed it to be pronounced Berlin. So it's interesting that Moscow's just here unapologetically still calling themselves Moscow, Idaho.
Ew, listen to what he says. I'm reading this article, and it says, in his book, Father Hunger, Wilson claimed lack of masculine fathers exerting their authority, a masculinity that does not simper and lisp. What the fuck does that mean? Is a root failing of our culture.
I think that was a gay slur.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, my bad. Egalitarianism is poison. Infidelity, Wilson writes, the sexual act cannot be made into an egalitarian pleasuring party. A man penetrates, conquers, colonizes, plants. A woman receives, surrenders, accepts.
That disgusting fucker.
Oh my god.
Where's our puke buckets right now?
At least he's out loud about it, because I think there's plenty of people who have that level of thinking, but it's just like they don't make words out of it. They just act like that.
Dog whistles, yeah.
True.
Oh, speaking of which, the dog is like, I can hear that whistle.
Thanks,
At least we know what we're up against with that kind of scum.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather look it in the face than scapegoat it to anything. So
no, I'm with you there. I say that a lot. I'm like, I prefer the bigots like that, because at least I know who to stay away from.
Very, very true. Yes.
100%.
Versus the covert style, which sucks.
Yeah, which
probably the
Amber and I
majority of
have
people.
experience with as well. And, it's just annoying when they play like they're like, oh no, hello fellow good people, I'm one of you. And it's like, no, I think you're
really
Nazi in atheist clothing.
A Christian nationalist, or a nationalist Christian, to put it properly, because they put the nationalism first, and that way we can abbreviate it, not C, but details. It just, they walk in and they're like, oh yeah, I believe that belief in God is the root of all our struggles. But actually, they think the Christians should be in charge of everything. They just don't want to have to go to church. Like,
I cannot comprehend that, how you can vote for a theocracy, know what a theocracy entails for the rest of us, specifically for the gays and women and anybody who's a vulnerable population, marginalized, etc., that it will harm them. There has to be some underlying kind of belief there, or
entitlement.
Maybe that's what it is. Hierarchy. You're just siding with the group because you know that you'll find your power in that group.
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
And I've heard them Christians are very covert about it, but even people on the left, I've had to have so many arguments about why we need to hold the line with trans people, because it's always white men. I love you, white men, but I need more of you speaking up and out against these kinds of things, because from non-white men, it sounds like, I'm just afraid for myself. And I am. However, they're getting through me to get to you. If you are not in power, this will get to you. So we need to hold the line as as early as possible.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, and again, everybody thinks this is about trans people. It can't possibly be. It can't possibly be. There's not enough of this whole power. This is only about, and I'm saying only, obviously it's about trans people, but the goal is to get at women.
Yeah.
Potentially white
Always
women.
has been.
Like they're hoping that I'll just die off. What they want to do is control white women. And they're doing this through trans women. They are trying to take away their bodily autonomy so that they can control white women. It is this isn't like brain rocket science, right? Brain surgery, rocket science, I'm throwing stuff together. But I actually have heard white men say, oh, this isn't, there's not enough trans people, so we don't have to worry about them. And I'm like,
and
are you stupid? Like, and I just have to walk away because I can't even have the argument without fear of like not getting thrown in jail for like putting my hands around their neck. I mean, it's because it's just so obvious. It is so obvious.
We're seeing it already. Like as a for example, just off the top of my head, the lady in the Buffalo Wild Wings in Michigan, I think. A server chased her into the bathroom and beat on the stall and said, "You're a man, you have to leave." Even though Michigan's constitution specifically protects gender identity. But she's a cis woman. She was born assigned female and never changed. And so the story gets a little muddled depending on which reporting you're listening to, but basically she had to whip her jugs out and be like, "I'm not a man. You get out." And she's suing over it and bully for her for doing that because somebody's got to hold these fuckers accountable for this shit.
Exactly.
It's not just harassment of trans women, but that alone should be reason enough, but it's also affecting all the other women, which reveals the actual goal to control all the women.
Yes, I know that's very near and dear to your heart, Amber dear, the whole bathroom situation. I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, that makes me feel uncomfortable. I do not want to be monitored when I go into the restroom. That's not where the problems are. And you're just overlooking what the true problems are, red herring this, red herring that, because you're hateful.
Well, and to me, it seems like a big backlash because I've lived in a couple of cities in the last 10, 15 years where we were seeing all the bathrooms in small facilities get changed to gender neutral bathrooms because people are like, everyone pees in the same bathroom at our houses. It's probably fine. And then it's no issue. But here they're being terrible about it. And
a lot of major cities are doing that.
Control.
Where they're taking off, like because they're single stalls. Like, why would you have a man single stall and a woman single stall? Like, just And so now there's like 2 gender neutral stalls, which probably much to the men's chagrin because there's always a line in the women's and not for the men's. But
let's be humans. Over it, dudes.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I have to go to the man's room because I'm a man. Like, we see them on call-in shows all the time. Somebody like Jovan Bradley will ask, I need your name, age, and pronouns. And they'll do name and age, and then they'll be like, I don't do pronouns. I'm too manly for pronouns. I'm like, so they can't go to a gender neutral bathroom because they're so very intensely men. They have to have a men's room because they're the special little boys.
And that's the problem at its root, the patriarchy. It's the mindset that needs to change. That's why we try to focus on breaking that cycle and that way of thinking, because that is where it originates. Like code switching on a global level. Yeah.
And I love Javon's tactic for dealing with that, where he's just like, all right, fine, you don't have pronouns. That means anytime I hear a pronoun, I'm going to use this buzzer. They can't get 10 seconds further. He was like, nope, I is a pronoun, you is a pronoun. Like, nope, can't do that. Me is a pronoun. Like, it's insane.
All you have to do is call God a she and watch them squirm.
Oh, yeah.
If pronouns don't matter, okay, God's a she then. Okay. Let's go with
Yeah,
that.
and there's
Right.
backing for that. There's apocryphal texts. I forget the text, but Dr. Kip is in one of the chats, and I'm sure he
Dr.
could
Kip.
enlighten us if he feels like it. But there's an apocrypha. Is it apocrypha text that describes God's giant jugs and flowing milk and so forth. And I mean, why should God have a gender? There's no body, right? Like
Right.
it's just how do they describe it? A disembodied, immaterial, eternal, transcendental mind with a personal, imperceptible, blah 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 blah. But like it's outside of reality. So why would it have a body? You know?
Especially when it's the God family and it's kind of like three dudes. It's like,
That doesn't make
is that reflects anything you see about how life is created, folks? Like,
No.
are you even paying attention?
It
No,
does not
you're not.
reflect.
So weird.
Not
And I
Like
mean,
the
honestly,
Bible.
if you want to shut down a conversation, like if you just don't want to have it, go immediately there. Does
Yes.
God have XY chromosomes? Does God have a penis? All right, then we agree that it's not tied to an aspect of the body. It's tied to your personality and like who you identify as, right?
Mhm.
And oh my God, you can almost see like them looking like that little mind blown emoji. And
Oh, yeah.
during that period, you can just walk away. Like, they're going to be too disoriented to have conversations.
Glitch,
No.
glitch, glitch.
Yep.
Yeah, God has breast and womb in the Bible because he took
Yeah.
many of Asherah's aspects.
I was just going
Somebody
to bring up
somebody
Astra,
had
yeah.
to, like, that it couldn't just disappear because
Right.
they do know that nature how nature works. So they
Yeah.
took those attributes and gave them to him. So yeah, you will find him with many feminine aspects.
Mhm.
And didn't
Mhm.
Francesca Stavrakopoulos put out a book that was like the anatomy of God or something? Look at
I love
you.
it.
Oh.
I love it.
It's
Where
my
all of
baby.
those parts are explained.
Someone
Amazing.
pays it.
Right there.
Oh, hey, Kip Davis. Look, a cool book cover. That makes sense. I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, Are you digging on his
Davis
book
know about
cover?
books?
Are you digging on his book cover?
I don't understand why you come out with a book with all the words crossed out, but I didn't have a vote. But I mean, I'm this is silly talk. Everybody knows that Kip Davis has written no books.
No.
That's right.
No,
Yeah,
That's
I've seen
right.
I
it.
actually
It's
didn't
a
buy
contrary.
his book this morning.
Contrary. It's a conspiracy.
Cute.
Oh no, it's getting nasty in the chat.
I know, right?
Yes, go buy Kip David's book. Diff Davis. I said David's. Buy his book.
Diff Cabus.
Dr. Kill.
That's right. That's right.
Got all
I
the
just chilling
usual
books.
suspects today. Yay.
Okay, here it is. This is what we're talking about, peeps.
There
This-
we go.
This mysterious book that people claim exists. Can I make it? I can't make it any bigger. It's fine.
$47.
I like that you have the
It's a
is
steal.
it the Tanakh? Is that the Tanakh? What is it called? My brain's
This book is
It's early.
5% of what all of his other books cost.
incense. Is it an incense stand, cult stand, Tanakh cult stand, and it has Asherah on it in the bottom. It has their trees. It has the lions, ibexes. Yeah, bitch.
Tanakh cult stand.
Oh, shit.
No, Ryan, you knocked that out of the park. It's the Tanakh cult stand.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Mm.
Asherah's my baby. That's what we
Yes.
need. We need more divine feminine energy. We need some balance.
Hey.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Even
Ryan-
atheists can see it.
When you
are
were on
that
our
divine
channel,
feminine energy.
yeah, when you were talking about Asherah on our channel for your interview, Ryan, I just you brought me to tears talking about Asherah and how it's not just about her. It's like she represents us. It's like
Our
she
story.
represented all of us women being erased from history. Oh my God, it really impacted me so much.
She's literally being erased in
Yeah.
the conquest, right? Like Moses or whoever is being prophet after Moses passes. They God has commanded as we go through the country, the most important thing is to find these shrines to Asherah specifically and burn them. Find the
Yep.
big old poles and burn them all. Leave not a
Yeah.
one standing.
It was violent. It was violent. It hurt
Yeah.
women. It hurt economy. It hurt everybody.
Yeah. I think the Poles were just intimidated by the strength of the almighty JJ. That's my
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like
great.
other
I
cultural
strong it
erasures
is.
too.
You
Yeah.
can't have a
Don't
guy
stop
trying to
when they wanna take
appropriate
over.
the act of creation and have actual creative powers still lingering around the countryside to show how flawed his asinine claims are.
That's even where the idea of bloodlines came from. It's like the perpetuation of the patriarchy that takes out the woman's importance entirely.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how genetics works, bitch.
Right.
For real.
And now you know, bitch.
Because like the whole Bible goes through, father of. The women don't even exist until you get to Jesus. And then I forget which gospel is which, but one of them traces his bloodline through Joseph, even though according to modern tradition, Joseph isn't involved.
It's an apologetic.
But details.
Yep.
That's from I think that was Mark, because it was
there's Jesus is
pre-adoptionism or something.
Jesus has two genealogies, two different genealogies. The apologetic is that one of them must be Mary's, but oddly, both of them trace the paternal line. It's just a contradiction,
but with different relatives.
Wow. So that's like an assumption or something they put into there to make it look like, oh, that's the reason they're different. It's just one's Mary, one's is Joseph. Like, nah, but you're actually they're both through Joseph. Oy vey. You know what I love? I love to tell people that like you wouldn't have Jesus without Jezebel.
Yeah.
He came from
The
Jezebel.
Holy Child with no daddy only matters because of his daddy, which he doesn't have.
And isn't there some story that by God choosing Mary to bring the Savior into the world, that was somehow allowing women to make up for their fuck up in the Garden of eating the fruit?
Ugh. Probably.
I haven't heard that one.
As I understand it, the Catholics have a concept of Immaculate Conception, and a lot of people misunderstand that to think Jesus was the Immaculate Conception because there was no sinful lust involved in his baby making. But according to the Catholics, it actually applies to Mary. She was conceived with the Almighty hand blocking original sin from contaminating her. So she was born without sin so that she could bear Jesus. Which is always screwed with my head because, like,
I actually went to Catholic school. I wasn't taught that, and I'm not saying it's strictly a Catholic thing. I'm just saying I'm not sure what the church's stance on it is. I do know that not all Catholics believe that, though. Definitely, Jesus was Immaculate Conception, and and definitely Mary was always a virgin. She never conceived. She never consummated the marriage. So Jesus could not have had other brothers and sisters. And so it's always funny when people are like, oh, well, no, Jesus. And no shade against Dr. Kip, but like I had to learn that Jesus actually had other brothers and sisters because I was not taught that. And the Catholic thing is that whenever there was a brother being attributed to Jesus, that it was a brother in the Lord. So the mythicist viewpoint of when they were talking about Jesus's brothers, like that made perfect sense to me because that's what I had known my entire life. But yeah, Jesus definitely was immaculate. I was taught that Jesus was the Immaculate Conception, and that there are Catholics that believe that Mary had to be because Jesus couldn't be born into an imperfect vessel. But you're not wrong. I just want to clarify.
It's almost like the whole thing is cobbled together mythology.
Oh,
right.
With
No,
everybody's got a different version of the story where the critical details are just made up. Like it's the people who fabricated the tale in the first place didn't provide enough information, and so all the people running around telling the story, instead of saying, I don't know, let me write a letter to Paul, this dude who writes letters, and find out, no, they'll just make something up on the spot. And so you've got every different church with its own unique tradition completely fabricated.
And they all think that their idea is correct. Isn't that incredible? I think that's when,
Inspired by the magical ghosty.
You can't both be right. You can't both be right. You know what pisses me off about the Bible is all these women mentioned, and so many of them were not even given their names. Like, did we ever find out what is Lot's wife's name?
No,
Do we even know?
Daughters.
Mrs. Lot.
It's fucking Lot's wife. This poor woman was turned into a pillar of salt because she was missing her home life where she lived. And
she had feelings.
The Bible didn't even give her a
slut.
fucking name.
I think that's a mistranslation. I think
You think so?
they left the city and you know the fire and brimstone was raining down or whatever, and Lot's like, you know, we're gonna have to rebuild civilization. You're too old. I'm gonna have to sleep with the daughters now. And she was like, fuck no. So she turned around and became salty.
Ooh.
I love it.
Damn.
That's good.
He did her dirty.
And wasn't that story they kind of intimated that it was the daughters that did it to him?
Yeah.
Got him
Of
drunk
course
and,
they did.
Yeah.
and that it
Women
wasn't
are
him.
sinful and
They
wicked
took
and
advantage of him, yes.
He was the innocent party here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
Fuck
He
off.
got drunk back to back. He just so happened to black out drunk 2 times in a row, but enough to still be able to get it up. You know, to
yeah, it's
right.
very and he's sticking to it.
blackout drunk on the barrels of wine they carried with them as they ran
And
from
to
the
not
city
remember
being
it
destroyed.
either.
Yeah.
And from that point, they blame it on the woman. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
pretty
really
creepy.
weird. It's so creepy, especially knowing that he intentionally took his daughters to that mountain, to that cave, when he was told by the angels where he should go. So had he listened, he would have went to where other civilization was and was fine in the little city in Zoar, but listened to his own heart and what he wanted, which was to F his daughters. Like, let's keep it real. Like, that is the only reason you would not listen to angels.
I mean, you got to remember that this is an epic diss track. So you can't have, were they the Edomites? Or I can't remember who, like Lot was the grandfather of this clan who must be G-sided. And they don't deserve to be here because is it the progenitor of them was so evil that, he was the best of the evilest town that couldn't even stand to exist. Like, he was the one person that got away, never listened to the angels. And, they're all, the descendants of this incest and this evil man that couldn't even listen to God when God saved him. God did all these wonderful things for him, and he still didn't listen. And so now these people got to go. So I mean, I do want to be fair to the text and what it's trying to do, but yeah, I mean, if we're looking at an internal critique, there's nothing good.
Yeah, I agree. The text, we do have to be fair to the text, which tells us Lot is the only man in the whole city who was without sin.
Evil city.
Yes, the evil city.
No, it's the best man in the evil city.
Right. And he proved it by when the evil people of the city wanted to have their way with his angel guests, he offered them his daughters instead.
What a
Question
great
though.
guy.
Patty and I were talking the other day about angels. It was my understanding that they don't have any sexual organs. Am I incorrect about that?
It
Isn't that
depends
just
on
they're
the
like they're
dogma.
nothing.
Yeah, they're
Huh?
not. As far
Depends
as
on the
I know, they
angel.
have no. I don't
There's
know.
a
There
lot
is
of debate
there is
over
The Watcher. Well, I mean, I believe the
They're gonna
Watchers.
cover their
The
gender.
Watchers obviously did, but I'm not. I don't know if Dr. Kip Davis is still here. The story appears in chapter 2, as the case with all the Bible stories. There's a lot more to it. But I believe angels were all different.
Okay,
and
it
I'm
just
not.
varied. Okay.
Yeah. At least the Watchers did. But yeah, when you get into like the seraphim and the
right.
Oh,
That's
God, the
what
other
I'm
ones.
thinking
There's
of. Like,
there's
we've got
tiers
the
of
angels
cherubim.
that are
tiers
all
of-
eyeballs.
The
And then we've
seraphim
got the
do cover their
angels
private
the seraphim
areas.
do. Oh, that's right.
So that
they
is there's
do.
a possibility
So then,
they're
yeah.
covering.
They have an extra set of wings just for modesty.
So
Yeah.
would that mean, therefore, that if they are, let's just pretend they're the ones that do have genitalia, they would have been the ones that came down and took wives from the earthly men?
I don't
you
read
mean the
ancient
Nephilim?
Hebrew, so I'm not really sure.
That was just a,
My
that was
Bible-
just
no,
a joke. That's
I
just
mean,
a joke assumption.
I think it is stated in the text, honestly. But our English text would just say angels.
Well, I mean, it
Okay,
says
I was just
sons
curious how
sons of God.
that works.
I legit love these. I love the lore. I love looking at ancient mythologies. I think it's really cool. So when you say, well, which one would it be? There's actually an answer to that. I just don't. If I ever knew, it's not top of mind.
Well, it is like Kip said. It actually says sons of God, so it does mean gods, not angels.
Oh, they're gods. They were actual gods.
That was just a
that
joke.
makes more sense.
Yeah, that was just a joke. If angels did have genitals, well, that
They
must have
do.
been-
Yeah, but no, we know they do. Again, internal critique.
Yeah, and that's valid though, because it does show the rebranding, and this is one of the things that Kip's book is perfect for. It's the God's propaganda, right? Because in the early days, we can see clear signs that there were lots of other gods. The first commandment, have no other gods before me. Yahweh didn't even have enough strength to demand you not even worship other gods. He just wanted to be the first among the gods. But details. But there were other gods. They were talked about. Solomon opened the temple to two other gods right in Jerusalem, and he was one of the great kings. So there's other gods. It's fine. But
so
you took this thing.
Our cult leader actually taught that the 10 Commandments were given to Adam and Eve by God.
What?
Yeah.
So wait. So
we
what,
just read about that the other day.
Is that
So-
blasphemy?
Was that just like a reaffirmation by Moses? What was the purpose of the Moses story?
Oh, because humans fell away from God's true commands, God's
Yeah.
true way after the garden, and he had to, reassert it with Moses. I mean, it doesn't have to make sense. You just have to say it with a lot of confidence and pound on the
But that was
podium.
incredible.
That's what Christianity is. It doesn't make sense.
None of it
Well, in fairness, it makes exactly as much sense as the other versions of the stories.
There you go. That's
True.
there you go.
How
That's-
many versions of that? It messes with my head just trying to get around this. I'm over here the average Christian wants me to know all this. So scholars have been studying this for so long, and you want me, someone who's not even really interested in the Bible, to know all this? Come on.
No, he doesn't even want you to read the Bible. He just wants you to listen to him.
Yes.
Yes, they
Through
prefer
his
you don't
True
read the Bible.
prophets. Yes.
Yeah, it tells you you're better, you're good if you can believe without understanding.
Mhm. Faith is a virtue, Blind faith,
Yeah.
better
Something.
Yeah, you have to
how do we
you have to go to
know-
the preacher with the heart of a child, just completely stupid and knowing nothing else.
imbecilic, if you will.
Exactly.
Robin Webster says the angel Gabriel has a huge dick. How do you know that, love? I am very curious.
Gabriel, if you can hear me, listen. I'm listening.
I'm suddenly feeling like doing some religious art.
Sculpting, maybe?
Ooh.
It was my understanding that Shiva actually has the biggest dick out of all the deities. I'm just saying.
For real?
It's all over India.
I
Shiva's
love
dick
that
is
for them.
everywhere.
I love
Yes.
that. Heck yeah.
I wonder if they've ever all been in the same room. Is that what gods do backstage? Is they just compare? Is that why there's so many holy wars? They feel intimidated by each other?
But who created all their assets themselves? Did another deity create this? How did that work? Who determined size?
Yeah, who created all these gods? Okay, well, in fairness, there's two different versions. The first is the pre-biblical version, which is El and Asherah created all the other gods through their coupling. But the true version is that all the gods are created by nil. the great not God and creator of creator gods. It's right in the name, so it must be true.
I've not heard of Nil.
Oh, you should come over to my place more often. I don't talk about Nil as much as I used to, but that was sort of like before I knew that, like, everybody has their own version. You know, John the Skeptic has Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe. Matt Dillahunty has universe creating pixies and sometimes Flurgle, Burgle, Minergle, Burgle, but details.
Rock hard.
So we need to have a reason for God. Who created God? So I answered it in exactly the same way. God was created by the creator of gods, Nil, because they keep saying, you think the universe came from nothing. No, you think the universe came from nothing because your God came from Nil. It's right there.
My God, zilch.
I like it. I like it.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
don't know where.
speaking of cults, there's another cult taking over the United States. They're currently technically in charge and they're trying to consolidate their power. And we usually call them MAGA. But you could also go with National Christians because Nazis is accurate, if nothing else.
Indeed.
And holy shit. It's
Time to get political.
it's super unpleasant. So we have a bunch of things we could talk about on that topic. Maya has collected a bunch of stuff. And
Videos.
You got the gossip
Yeah,
cup of tea,
there's
Maya. Do you have the
one in
gossip? The hot
particular.
goss?
Oh shit, I'm opening the wrong window. I'm bad at this.
Oh.
I don't really use StreamYard much anymore.
Well, if she's talking about the FAFO for Trump supporters, it's like my secret evil, like my guilty pleasure. And I don't usually enjoy the Schadenfreude, or as they say.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude,
Or
thank you.
Freude, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that. But with the Trump supporters, it's just like we've spiraled down. Like I feel like I'm in the middle of a water slide. Like there's just no hope for getting back up. And
We can't talk like that.
yeah, I mean, it just, misery loves company. So when I see people crying into a camera about how much they regret their vote, it's just like, okay, just give me this, the universe. Like, I don't know what else to do at this. I mean, there's going forward, but like he told them what he was going to do. They listened to him. They were like, they cherry picked what they wanted to hear. They sent us spiraling headfirst into this, like, into hell. And it's just like, I don't like it. I really, really, really work hard personally on forgiveness, because forgiveness doesn't hurt the person that you're mad at. It doesn't. It only hurts you. So I've worked really hard to just, keep myself light and positive and forward thinking, because it's always the best for the situation. However, I understand them being hurt and angry and wanting to see the world burn, because I feel that way right now with them.
Them specifically, not the rest of the world, but oh my
those
goodness.
who have caused harm need to be stopped from causing more harm.
Right.
And
if we're just like, well, that's it, it's gonna burn, or we're gonna just forgive, and like we don't make that stop. We have to make it stop.
You reaped what you sowed.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean, I don't want to go down on like a whole thing about what I mean about forgiveness, but yeah, it's not about I don't believe that forgiveness is saying it's okay that you did that. I believe it's just, yeah.
No, I get what you're saying too, Maya. I think there's this unrealistic form of like apologize, forgiveness within like religions, particularly Christianity, and
that is bad and toxic.
It is unreasonable. They use Bible passages like, you are compelled, you have to, by God's law, forgive me, which just
that's all the way off.
the cycle of some of these
Right,
Yeah,
it's used as an excuse to keep abusing.
Yes, that toxic.
right. Forgiveness is a very human thing, as it should be anyway.
It is a way to release hurt, pain, and burden from yourself. And that's all it should be. The person has shown you who they are. You need to incorporate that into their personality. You know, you don't get mad at a 5-year-old for wrecking your car because you let them drive it. You're like, okay, my 5-year-old can't drive. You know, it's not
very good.
You know, it's just, or, you know, my friend is a person who will not pay me back money. So or like with my sister, you know, who is an addict. She is not a person, like if I choose to give her money, I need to, 1, understand that she's going to hurt herself, and 2, understand that I'm never getting it back. And if I choose to do that, I am taking that onus on myself. I am not holding it against her. She's going to do what she's going to do. You know, and me being mad at her and holding a grudge isn't helping the situation at all. So that's what when I think of forgiveness, like if I were to give my sister money and she were to take it and buy alcohol, and I get mad at her because she didn't do what she said she was going to do with it, you know, like buy her kids, you know, shoes or whatever. Like I'm mad at myself and taking it out on her. I'm not, you know, there's no reason to hold that grudge. She is who you know, regardless of, I allowed her to throw a guilt trip on me. I knew who she is. I know who she is, and I know what she's going to do. And you know, and rather than like, and I feel like a lot of times the anger that we hold on people is like anger at yourself. Like, well, I don't know how to, and again, not victim blaming. I'm not saying always, but I honestly, if we're being honest, a lot of times it's like, you know what, I knew I shouldn't have done this, but it's their fault for tricking me. It's like, no, just listen to your inner voice and stop letting, you know, toxic people lay guilt trips on you. And again, I'm not trying to victim blame. They had no right to do what they did to you. But a lot of times we need to hold ourselves accountable, and we need to stand firm. We need to learn how to say no and stand in that. Just, you know, my real thing is like not allowing toxic people to hurt us.
Yeah.
Is really what I'm going for. And a lot of people think that love is giving people what they want, and it's not. Love is giving people what they need. And
learning healthy boundaries at a young age, which unfortunately, like growing up in a cult like Patty and Ryan as well did. Yeah, we weren't taught about healthy boundaries. In fact, I didn't even realize that I could fucking say the word no for a long period of time in my life. I didn't know how. I'm like, I was just told do this, do that. Yeah, you don't think with this, because even in the Bible it tells you don't use your mind, lean not to your own understanding. You just, you know, you have figures of authority, whether that's your parents or your church leader, cult leader, you know, in our case. And I just got used to that. Like I couldn't navigate the world once I got out into the real world, because I didn't know what healthy relationships looked like. It looked like, you know, fear and love were the same thing. We were taught that this God in the Christian faith is an absolute fucking monster, which especially in the Old Testament, he is. And so therefore, you know, if I meet a partner that's got those qualities, that looks like love. And I'm supposed to do what he says. Right.
And I get that, because like in that sense, then it's just like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And, you know, I'm doing everything I was told to do, and I'm not getting good results. And so you don't realize what happened. And so you're I don't know, you want to blame the other person for not holding up their end of the bargain. And when they are also doing what they were taught to do. And it's just this toxic cycle.
Yeah. Well, you think that maybe they'll love you more the more compliant you are. Again, that's be more subservient, and they'll take care of your needs. But really, it's actually has the opposite effect. Yeah, break the fucking cycle, Liam. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Patty and I often talk about how like the stages of indoctrination happen from like ages 4 to 14. You know, right when we're supposed to be learning things about the world, it seems like this is just the prime target ages to be able to, you know, train your children in this way of thinking. get to the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're forming your understanding of, like, up until age 4, it's like learn to walk, learn to, close your mouth while you're chewing, basic control stuff.
Yeah.
Once you've got that pretty much down, then you start to understand how the world works. And that's why it's that age, because people can come along and start giving you the easy answers. And if they seem to be true or close enough in the context, you'll tentatively accept them, because you don't have a better answer to work with and you haven't been taught how to think critically yet.
Exactly.
And as
We're just
the
absorbing
longer
at that point,
idea stays, the more it sticks.
That's when hierarchy gets in and teaches you how to get in your box.
Yeah. One thing that always
More
bugged
ways
me
than one.
about the way these indoctrination things are done, one of the signs, the red flags of indoctrination, I suppose you might say, is the way they repeat the things. Because if something has to be insisted upon over and over and over again, you have to question if it's true. Because if it was true, you wouldn't need to do that. Unless there's someone out there actively contradicting it. And then there's like people are like, oh no, the earth is flat. You can't just leave that on the table. You have to be like, no, this is how we know there's a globe, etc. But it's wild how people are like, oh yeah, God loves you, but also hates you and will burn you forever.
Correct.
Yeah.
Really
like,
weird.
It doesn't make sense. So it has to
But
be
if you
insisted upon.
if you obey and you do what I want, you have all these good things coming your way. I promise.
Just after you die.
You just gotta wait till you die.
That's lots of things, like the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. It's like promising, to promote you, get you that role, and to get you to excuse bad behavior. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's transactional, and that's God's love is unconditional, but it's also a transaction. You have to hold up your end of the contract that you didn't get a say in negotiating.
And it's a one-way transaction.
Yeah, love me or die is not exactly a choice or free will or anything.
That's what a gangster does. Like, pay me or die. There's not a choice there.
It's a lovely soul you've got there. It'd be a real shame if something were to happen to it.
Are you really attached to your soul because you're not going to have it for long? Just wondering. Is the loving God in the room with us?
It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys watched Jennifer's Body, but like at the end,
long time ago,
the girl went to jail, or I think a mental hospital, and she was like, people keep writing me letters and telling me I just need to invite Jesus into my heart, and I keep asking, but nothing ever happens.
Right. Like I often say, I tried to have a relationship with Jesus, but he never called, he never wrote. I feel like he's just not that into me.
He's not that into us for sure. I tried. I did my best.
I've tried to get him to strike me down dead in the moment a lot, and it doesn't work.
Right? I've done like the polar opposites to see if any of it would work. It just certainly didn't.
All the options for science.
For science.
Exactly.
For the win.
Yeah.
W for science. Big W for
Does
science.
that do anything? No? It
Probably
should.
not.
Mm.
No.
Wait, they fled woke America and what? Ended up in a war zone. Oh, I love this story. I'm sorry.
Oh yes. This is one of the ones that Maya sent, and it's probably the single most FAFO story out of all the MAGA cult, and it just yikes.
Oh yeah, we were watching something.
Yes, let's watch. I want to see what happens. I need to know what happens.
All right.
Well,
here
we
we
did a
go.
lot of research when it comes to Russia because America was just going downhill, and there was a lot of things happening that we were not excited about seeing, and a lot of things that we were not comfortable with our daughters being around. The agenda for the LGBTQ plus was insane. It was in all the ads. It was in all the TV shows. It was in every commercial. Even having it in Target ads where two men are together and it's kissing. And I'm just like, okay, like You don't need to shove it down
love.
everyone's throat. Like, if that's your choice and that's your belief, it is what it is. But don't sit here and make it in kids' TV shows and in all the ads and everywhere you look.
You know,
So I was
unlike
watching
straight
this-
love.
Don't be human.
Right?
Yeah. How dare you exist in an ad? Like,
I don't care about intersectionality at all.
Well,
How dare you shove your true self down our throats, Ember?
How dare
Come
you be
on.
free in a free
Right?
country? Ugh.
You may as well be saying, well, it's fine if black and brown people want to make that choice and live that way, but they don't need to be in like TV shows and ads where kids can see them. Like, what are you talking about, ma'am?
I have a
What's your
suggestion.
deal?
It's called change the channel. Maybe your child shouldn't be on the internet or watching things without you anyhow. Get over it. Like, you can change the channel.
But I mean, the thing is also, like, straight culture permeates society. And I threw like a meme about this up on my Facebook not too long ago, where it's just like everything is about straight love. Everything, every Disney movie, every what do you call it? Every sitcom, most commercials, it's insane. If you're looking for it, like how much straight culture is just rammed down our throats. And then it's like, oh, but over here, sometimes, and to an extent that is not representative of what we would see IRL, are brown people, LGBT people, trans people. And it's just like, oh my God, they're forcing this on my children. It's not like straight culture isn't the de facto thing. It is an alternative. I say an alternative. I mean, that's kind of weird to say alternative lifestyle, like they have like to say about LGBT. Yeah. It's like,
We got you.
You have chocolate and you can have like as an alternative vanilla ice cream, right? But what if you're just lactose intolerant, right? What if you don't like chocolate or vanilla? Well, then, it's neither is an alternative. You have to have dairy free. And it's not because you chose dairy free, you're fucking born this way.
Wow,
There
Maya,
you
that was so good. I love this analogy.
Good analogy.
So much.
Hell yeah.
It's just, I hate everything about that so much.
Don't we all?
God,
I'm sick of it.
I mean, it's like the biggest confession of I'm super narrow-minded and I haven't looked around the world at all.
Right. I've lived an insular life, a very small world. Only have been around a very certain small group of people. I don't have people of color as friends. I don't have people from different religious groups as, it just says to me, it just says a lot. Because it said a lot about me. Like, I'm literally speaking from my own personal experience. So I know that much is true.
Yeah, they want to have, like, they've grown up with walls around them, and they want the same walls around their kids. Like, you can do that though, bestie. You don't have to change all of public society because you don't like what's in public. I mean, in fairness, there is nothing more American. That's why the Puritans did their thing, right? They left England because they were being oppressed.
Right.
But when they settled in the Netherlands for a couple of decades, their kids were growing up in this secular country, and they were going, hey, secularism is actually kind of cool. You don't have all these ridiculous restrictions and cult practices, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Look at all these people doing these things. There's literally no harm, and these people are both smarter and much better off. The results show. The proof is in the pudding. You will know them by the fruits, all those things. And the Puritans had the same reaction as this lady. They're like, oh, we can't have that. All these people, having women with uncovered heads, shoving it down our kids' throats. We out of here. So they left. The story you get taught in American schools is censored a little bit. They're like, oh, the Puritans, the Pilgrims, they came over because they were being oppressed in England. No, they were being oppressed in England, so they went to the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, they were terrified of the freedom there, so they came to New England so they could raise their children in a little bubble without letting them see the rest of the world existed. And America has never gotten rid of that fucking Puritan streak.
Oh, did you see this?
Oh, right.
Real quick, did you see this comment by Robin Webster? She said, my best friend's son and daughter-in-law started homeschooling their kids this week because her cousin is a teacher and married to another woman and having a baby, and they're freaking out. Oh my
What?
God. Yes.
What?
Wow.
Get over yourself.
Right. I don't know. I think it's amazing, but
Right.
whatever.
These people are fucking nuts.
Why are people so fearful of things that are different? I don't know. I've always been the type of person, like, if I meet someone that's really different from me, hence I love traveling the world and meeting all these different cultures. That's what I zero in on. Like, oh, you think differently than me? I want to get to know you. Sorry.
Damn.
That's the first place I go. I can't imagine being that close-minded that I find comfort in my box. Like, you have a checklist. This is what you do. Here's how you do it. And you just follow it. No,
if we only got to read one book, like if we only got to read one book ever, and if you like don't step outside of what you know, that's what you're doing. Like, don't you want to hear other stories, learn all the ways that people are human in the world? I think that's the fucking coolest thing about being a human.
Yes.
But they probably do only read that one book. But
literally
only
portions who say there's only one book. But here's the thing. If they get their way, none of us would even be allowed to read that book. Reading is for men.
Oh God. Oh, we're talking Gilead shit right now.
Well, I mean, my ancestors were not allowed to read.
That
in general, or just the Bible?
No, if we read, it was only the Bible. Generally taught to read by reading the Bible. To read, like the masters or their wives or mothers wanted to hear, like be read, like maybe they had failing eyesight or whatever, but they still wanted to hear the Bible, and it wasn't, outside of church. So,
like, how many times can you read about Abraham whoring out his wife to the Pharaoh,
for real?
Yeah.
Was it in the slavery Bible?
Probably not. I wonder.
Yeah, that's another interesting point is, they have in the fairly recent history come out with edited versions of the Bible to send a very specific message. All the passages about the truth will set you free and that sort of thing, snip, snip, but all the slaves obey your masters, huge bold print text,
I mean, isn't every version of the Bible edited?
Exactly.
Just saying.
God, right?
Yep. One way or another.
Yeah, it's more than you know. They're all custom made for a very specific message. In fact, Augustine, he's one of the early saints, but he's actually taught in 101 philosophy classes because he was also a master of rhetoric. And he went through the Bible and was like, no, this needs to be rephrased this way. This needs to be rephrased this way through the whole fucking Bible to make sure the message got reinforced that above all things, obey.
Yikes.
Cult. That is cult 101. Everything's obey.
Also fascism.
Yeah. Hey, it's almost like fascism's a cult, huh?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
They have some similarities. They do. Yes.
Authoritarian rule. My way or the highway.
A lot in common.
Yeah. It's all authoritarianism. True.
So what's this next?
It's just a light version.
This is Coach D. He's awesome.
So this is a different clip. I mean,
well, it's his video.
Okay, so he's commenting on the. What happened
this is Coach D, and he's playing clips of this other video and inserting his own thoughts, and he's got a lot of interesting things to say. It should be noted, though, because I don't know if we're going to get all the way through this, if we're going to pop over to something else or whatever the case may be. The woman there, her husband, their whole family, because of what she just said, there's too many immigrants, there's too many people who aren't like her in the world, they needed to go somewhere else, and so it's sort of famous now because it's like ultimate FAFO. They moved to Russia. Her husband joined the army, got sent to Ukraine, got killed.
Oh,
Literally
snap.
fucked around and found out.
Like within like within the first month. Like, yeah.
It was fast.
Yeah.
And
These.
yeah, so now Coach D here, he's got a few thoughts. We'll just let him play because they're fun.
Okay,
Sure.
Video with my daughter last night. She's in town from college. And the first thing she said was, "What is this lady talking about? Where does she see all of this?" And I said, "Listen, you understand how much you have to hate the gay community to see it everywhere and to say it's being shoved down your throat? Oh my gosh, I saw it in commercials and in ads, and there were men kissing and they're just shoving it down my throat." No one ever says when they see a heterosexual couple kissing on TV that people are shoving heterosexualism down their throat. The reason why is because they hate gay people. That's what it is. She didn't want her children to see gay people. She hates gay people. She can say whatever she wants. People can say whatever they want about, oh my gosh, it was in this and it was in that and it was shoving it down my throat. No, you hate gay people. And because of that, you decided to move your family to Russia. Okay, just say that.
The safety factor was insane, having all the way down to kids being taken from you right in front of you. Like, there was a lot of unsafe things around children. And then there was a lot of unsafe things just in general, cars being broken into, people getting hurt and beat up on the streets, like just a lot of different things that...
By the cops, you mean?
How is
There's
that
an
happening?
insane amount of crime
Correlate
in Russia. I'm just saying.
gayness with criminal activity. Good job.
Right.
Wondering.
You've been watching too much Fox News, lady.
No, she is trying to not sound like the bigot she actually is. And that's why he
Not
said
doing good
so
enough.
many times, like, you hate gay people. Just say it with your whole chest. But she's
Do
like,
it.
well, I understand that people aren't going to take pity on me if they think I'm just a racist or if they think I'm just a homophobe. And so she's like, well, we all agree that crime is bad, right? But like, crime, again, is a euphemism for Black people. She's, oh my God.
This is the exact sort of tactics that our cult leader also used. Like he'd be holding, the newspaper or magazine in one hand and the Bible in the other. Is like, see? You see what's happening over here in this country, all these wars, that is directly connected to this particular passage in the Bible that I just picked because it sounds good.
Yep.
That's why this is going on. So he really went after homosexuality. Yeah, like when AIDS came onto the scene, he got such a boner for it because
they were chomping at the bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Reagan's entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Look what's happening to our country now that we're moving away from Jesus. There's all these gays, and now God is sending a plague, the gay plague, that somehow only affects gay people. Asterisk.
Well, we skewer how our
What?
cult leaders spoke, but if you even just look at how media has been for my entire life, when there's a bank robbery or something, if it's Black people that did it, they'll use words like thug instead of other words that are less dehumanizing if it was white people. And that is some bullshit. And that programs everybody to think a certain thing or to accept that way of thinking. And it's fucking bullshit.
Yes.
Wording has a lot to do with it. Yes. Like calling people illegal. People illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they build up a feeling about things, right? Using these words, and then those words can be triggered at any point to get people back on board with their racist shit.
Dog whistles.
Yeah.
It's literally the point of propaganda is social programming to not just make you think a certain thing, but to react a certain way. So they can use one of those dog whistles, a specific phrase, and cause an automatic Pavlovian kind of reaction.
Yeah. Not necessarily the words, but the feelings that are instilled through those words. Absolutely.
And she went to Russia, even though she's like, well, we did all of our research. And I'm like, Russia isn't the best white country to go to if you're trying to flee crime, right?
Yeah.
But
Europe,
Europe is being infiltrated with brown people that are escaping the oppression of their colonizers, because I don't know if you know this, but they're kind of wreaking havoc all over the world in countries that, you know, have, well, I mean, if you're not in Europe, I mean, you're pretty much a brown nation. So they're taking on a lot of refugees. So it's really hard to go anywhere in Europe and get the same degree of white people that you can in Russia. And, you know, who, if anything, if you get anything, it's, you know, the Asians, which are the model minorities. So, you know, and honestly, I mean, if you look at the stats at Russia, I mean, you would think if, in fact, whiteness is closer to godliness, and I recognize that I'm the only Black person in the stream, that
represent
that Russia should be the most, you know, utopian country in the world. You know, maybe Australia, but you know, what we see is a high level of crime. It's almost as if it's not about skin color, it's about oppression.
Ooh.
There.
Yes.
You mean when you give people what they need and you treat them well and you let them live happy lives, that everything just is more productive? Oh my, well, except for the billionaires, they're probably less productive, and hence the issue.
Honor the people.
Yeah.
Let's be the people together,
Yes.
all of us.
That.
Right. And that's her real problem, is she doesn't like a society where everybody's allowed to be themselves. She likes the authoritarian structure with the white cis hetero patriarchy instituted from above by force. Because if she really were interested in low crime rates and whiteness, Australia is the obvious choice. And she doesn't. If it were just whiteness, then it would be any of the Scandinavian countries. But that's not what she's really after, because they tend to be hit or miss for some of them, but more accepting than Russia, where you can just be killed and no one cares. You know,
She did her homework.
She chose that place on purpose, and that place took her.
Yeah, the one place that still considers sexuality to be a crime, and you can be punished for it.
Yikes.
We know why she chose Russia.
So sad. No wonder
Just like, why is this happening? So my husband and I started doing some research. We moved from Arizona to Texas to hopefully get a better family value around us. We even bought land.
Now, it should be noted, and I believe Coach D brings it up later, but it really, really belongs here. Both of them are on their second marriage and have other children that they left behind.
Oh, they're godly too then. Okay, good.
Family values.
Godly values, yes.
Thinking that maybe we could build our family and build a house out there. Unfortunately, a lot of people were moving into Texas and they were changing.
Like you, Becky.
Texas is Mexico. We just took it from them. It's way too much of those other people. You know, I mean, and honestly, I mean, there are like indigenous Texans, like that. They're all brown. Just way too many of those people that we just let live there.
Let live. This is classic white flight, is what it is. They're trying to get to that one spot where there's no black or brown people, and they can't find it, and that's
go live in a compound.
Fuck her.
Go find a compound.
Well, isn't there something being built? Is it Tennessee where somebody is building like this new compound where it's just all white people?
I do think I've heard that.
Was it Tennessee or
Kentucky,
Arkansas?
I believe, but it
might be Kentucky.
There,
okay.
Yeah,
there's probably a lot of those. Actually, this is just the one I happened to see in the news recently. So and they're building walls around that and be like, nope, you're not getting in. We're keeping you here. Our cult leader used to call it a white strain, and I know some of these cult leaders say that race is not actually a thing. Critical race theory? No, because we're one human race, and therefore they don't have to deal with racism at all if we're just all one race. So,
I mean, we are.
Thank you for that. I need to talk to that, and I love you so much for saying that, because when a lot of people I've been stopping a lot of people from saying like we're all one race, and I'm like, you got it, you can't do that, because like that is what they want, because they don't play fairly, right? If we can all get to a point where we're all one race, then I don't have to acknowledge race, and therefore I can treat people that I visibly see as different than me. I could treat them differently, and since we're no longer tracking race or how the races are being treated, then there's no metric there. I can be racist with impunity. So I do really like, I do want to, and I think that it sounds weird for a Black person to say, no, we need to acknowledge races. But it's because that people aren't acknowledging my humanity. You know, and it doesn't take, again, white people, if you want to see how this extends to you. If you're not white skinned, like very pale skinned, blue eyed, blonde haired, you can very easily become another. So it again, never just stops with one. The goal is always, and you can see this, my favorite thing is Twitter, because we watched it in real time when all of the progressives left Twitter and went to Blue Sky and started and just immediately, the first thing I saw on Twitter is like, if you even smell a Nazi, if they have the stench of Nazi on them, boot them, report them. We don't want them here, which forced all of the alt-right to stay on Twitter. They got bored, and they immediately, like within I want to say 2 weeks, started to turn on themselves. It's been hilarious to watch, but it never ever stops at one group.
No, very well said, Maya. AJ, welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you.
AJ from Ways to Human is also joining us. We did introductions earlier, but since you're just popping in, do you want to give a brief overview of who you are and what you do for the people on all the other channels?
Oh, sure. I have my own channel called Ways to Human, and I do sort of science communication, and I try to debunk religion with, science. Samesies.
Really good channel.
That's the short of it. Yeah, thank you. Just put a video last night about where we get our morality, which is our brain, the insular cortex.
I saw that you have incredible content, AJ. You have an incredible brain.
Yes.
She knows all about how things work, and I'm just like soaking it all up.
Thank you. I'm planning on putting out more of that.
Yeah.
Yee. Yeah. So AJ, we're discussing this family that moved to Russia to escape all the woke.
Oh, Russia. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you
fun times.
Woke for sure there.
Get your popcorn.
Free from the woke.
Got it.
Yeah.
The dynamic of the family values and the family situation. So that's when we started looking into other places. Europe was a big factor for us to look into, because the United States, no matter where you go, even into the states that have like good Christian values, is falling apart. And
minor note, the states that have good Christian values, the ones where they're banning abortion and are trying to repeal the right to divorce, or even take away women's right to vote or own property, for example. Good Christian values. Those are things that are all clearly in the Bible.
I live in one of those, Texas. Texas is like at the top of the list, probably.
Yeah.
They also have the highest murder rate. So tell she left Arizona because she was worried about crime, and she wants to live somewhere with a much, much higher crime rate, specifically violent crime.
Yikes. But hey, they don't have gay there. They don't have the gay.
So, hey, we're the brown.
They don't have the gay or the brown. So it's a win for her.
Holy shit.
This loss was a win for her.
Yes. Recently, I've been a little bit bummed that there's not a lot of like atheist events and such, like out of Chicago, which I'm not far from. But then I realized, like, I am not in the Bible Belt. I don't think we really need it here as much. Like, we don't have a problem because of all the cultures and the diversity. In the Bible Belt, you need these kind of things for that community.
Yeah.
Right. And you really see it in the kinds of events that do take shape, right? Like BajaCon, which is in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada.
BajaCon.
That it's more about how do we build a secular society that works for everyone. Whereas in the Bible Belt, you've got stuff like the Ark protest, where they're like, hey, maybe we should stop using taxpayer funds to promote genocide. Maybe, you know, like
that would be nice.
The priorities are clearly very different.
Very.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I commend you on being so strong amidst where you live, AJ. I go.
Yeah, we went out, but yeah.
Yeah, I keep losing my earbuds. No, I go a little bit south in Illinois, and I start to get a little bit antsy. Like, yeah.
I go outside city limits, and it's a little.
Yeah, Portland. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But,
sort of what I was.
Shout out to Chicago and Portland for holding down the state.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah. Because like I was going to say earlier, she moved to the wrong Moscow, because the Moscow in Idaho that Doug Wilson hangs out at, they're trying to build like a white homeland in the Pacific Northwest, and Eastern Washington and Oregon are kind of part of that greater separatist area. There's a lot of redheads who aren't in on that, but there's a lot who are.
We literally have counties in Oregon that are or have been trying to secede to Idaho.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Oh,
and there's not so much the atheist conference type thing here, but we do have former cult stuff here, because for some reason Oregon loves to bloom cults. Our cult was even bloomed in Oregon.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's crazy.
Well, was Portland the state that was founded that explicitly prohibited slaves because they didn't want any brown people in it?
I don't know that for sure, but I know it for a long ass time had sundown laws.
Yeah, no, I think God, it was
Liam wants some boobs. Sorry.
Oh,
Liam, there you go.
I forget. I think it's Portland, but I can't remember if it's Oregon or Washington, but one of them was a sundown state.
Yeah, it could be here. There's like some really nasty history in Portland of like where Black people were moved to in the city and then running freeways through that area. And
that's most major cities.
Well,
honestly.
that's true.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, they are talking about it. Like there's big displays that describe the whole thing at our science museum and stuff here. So,
good.
Talk about it, y'all. Talk about it. So we don't do that shit again.
Yeah. Aren't there a lot of Scientologists in Portland as well? Correct.
That might be true.
Like they're all over California, LA, and then people move
really
up to Portland, and then you have all these ex-Scientologists up there as
well.
That makes sense, because Scientology, they're kind of evil and like they are vindictive. So I do believe that they would like flee the state once they broke free. So that makes sense.
So is suppressive person, is that the terminology they use for someone that they...
Yeah, have you guys watched the show by Leah Remini, the actress?
Yeah.
She did
It's
wild. Yeah.
Good on her. Yeah. Good.
There's a lot of screwy stuff going.
Yeah, speaking of suppression, Texas just last night passed the redistricting laws, to add Republican seats.
Yeah.
They did pass it?
Yeah.
Those bastards.
Assembly, their version of the House, something like that.
Oh, yeah. It was supposed to be for like the flood stuff, but they put that in it. So, yeah, they passed it.
Yeah, and that's the same state that has taken their legislators hostage.
Oh,
yeah.
They had to flee, basically.
One of the women, Well, one of the women was sleeping in the Capitol, and they would lock her in every night. Like, she couldn't get out if she wanted to.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was trying to do an interview last night, I think.
Yeah, in the bathroom. She went to the
and
bathroom to do
in the
it.
middle of the call, the state troopers bust in, or the Rangers, I suppose, because it's Texas.
Yeah.
They bust in and they say, "You're committing a felony," and they cut off her call.
Yeah,
What
she was
the
calling California governor. Yeah.
So what is Newsom going to make any moves then? Is he
Well, he
just
can't
off?
because California voted against redistricting.
Oh, they did. Oh shoot.
Oh,
Yeah, I
didn't
think
hear
that's
that.
what they were probably discussing, like
No, Newsom wanted
strategies.
to, but he actually cares about his constitution. Put it up to a vote, and the voters said no.
Right.
Wow.
unbelievable. California, man.
I know.
So yeah, it's the downside of not being an authoritarian, who's just like, oh yeah, laws are optional. They're more like guidelines, really.
Yeah, yeah. I was in Springfield, the capital of Illinois, the other day. I don't live too far from there, and I saw this plane going around with one of those banners, and it said "Mess with Texas," and I was like, "Wait, what?" So I had to look that whole thing up as far as the seats in Texas and what was going on.
I mean, it takes some fancy footwork because if you look, just pull up like the stats in Texas. There are more registered more registered Democrats than Republicans.
But that's why they have to do that.
They have to do it, yeah. And that takes some like fancy footwork to do.
My specific district, I was looking at the last redistricting, and it was like it used to be like sideways like this, and then it went like whoop, like crazy, like completely different area, and I was like, what the heck happened? So I'm sure they changed it now with this one, but
they're just trying to get as many okay, I think I see a Republican over there, let's and so you have Texas, like all the major cities are Democrat, which is where most of the people are. Probably half are in these big cities, and then you just have these insanely rural areas, like where you think of like big hat country. They do everything big, but again, it's rural. So you have it's like one guy here, and then 20 acres out, there's another guy. And those are the Trump supporters, and like what AJ's saying. To put all of those people together, it's going to make the redistricting lines, the districts look crazy.
Right, and after I thought about it, I was like, it makes sense because, like, for example, my neighborhood and the ones around me are like very, very Hispanic, and then right around that we have all of the white, very rural areas that you mentioned that are very Trump supporters, rednecks. So, they had to redraw it to make sure that us Hispanics didn't have our way.
Right.
Yeah,
but
Texas vote.
Texas is
there
purple.
might be freedom.
Texas is purple. And Abbott, if he gives up an inch, Texas is blue. And the Republicans keep doing what they're doing without gerrymandering and voter suppression. The Republicans never win again.
Yeah, if you look at the local leadership, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, even Dallas, I think is Democrats.
Yeah. No, with the exception of possibly San Antonio, every major city in Texas is blue.
Yeah.
It's very
extremely blue.
Extremely blue. Yeah. I don't know what that royal blue.
I went to Dallas. My first driving job was their only terminal was just outside Dallas in Mesquite, and so I took a walk while my truck was in the shop into Dallas, and I found this diner, for lack of a better term, called the Pizza Lounge. It was literally San Francisco. It was a slice of San Francisco in Dallas, and it just fit there. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a delightful place. They had no chairs. It was all couches, super comfy furniture. I'm like, oh, this is neat. But the owner was like the incarnation of hippie. It just.
Yeah. Austin is all of Austin is like that. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think Matt Dillahunty describes Austin as it's not in Texas, it's surrounded by Texas.
Yes. You have to go by the laws of Texas, but it's a completely different environment. It's super LGBTQ friendly.
honestly the same thing in Illinois. I know we all say it's like it's a blue state, but no, it's a red state. But you have a blue Chicago, you have a blue Champaign-Urbana, and parts of Bloomington as well. That's about it. You have your blue dots in the state.
Yep. Hey, no, that's what I was saying for Portland. Seriously, Portland and Chicago are holding down the state. And then, you know, possibly parts of like East St. Louis, but like, it just,
it's a bit of a, like we see all these maps with the blue dots, but that's just rhetoric because those dots have like 90% of the population and it's people that vote, not land.
Not land.
Correct.
It's pretty wild. But I wanted to ask, AJ, you mentioned how Abbott keeps pushing all these super restrictive laws to try to suppress the vote. Do you suppose that some of the other asinine super restrictive laws, like banning abortion and such, are to try to drive the blue voters out of the state? Because if they don't live there anymore, they can't vote.
Honestly, I don't think they do it specifically for that. I think they do it for themselves because they want those laws. You know, like they don't want abortion around. They don't want gay people around. They're like, I guess I suppose it could be if they push voters away that support that. I'm sorry, that
kind of a happy byproduct.
The opposite of it,
Right.
Yeah, I guess it could be,
They're not disappointed with the result, the end result.
Right, yeah, I have not thought about that part, but it definitely makes sense. I think it's both, though. It's both because they want it and because they will make sure that if they pass those laws, then the people will feel so oppressed that they won't want to be there anymore. And, you know, you always hear on the internet, like, well, why don't you leave if you don't like it? Like, why don't you leave America? Or why don't you
their
leave,
solution. Fuck. Yeah.
It's my country.
Yeah, don't
too.
make the problems better. Just go away and leave.
As if everybody had the resources to do that, though, right? Like,
right.
I can't. Like, we tried to look into moving to Austin, and even by selling our house, which is very small and will give us barely, like, I don't know, 100,000 maybe. Like, we still couldn't afford to support ourselves for like a whole year with that. By moving to Austin. So imagine trying to move to like another country. Like, that's just impossible to do within such a short period of time.
It's such an STFU comment, right? It's like I don't want to engage in the argument. I want you to just leave.
Yeah. Get out of my
face. I don't engage with that with that comment. Like, usually my response is like, do you have anything substantive to add to the discussion? If not, then you can, you know, why don't you go away from the conversation? Like, don't engage with it. I mean, but it's important to point out for people who, you know, need an answer to that, but like, that's not their point in making it when they say it.
I typically find that those kind of people will automatically fuck off anyway. Like the trolls, they'll go into the comments, say something nasty. They don't want to add to the conversation, and they're gone. They're just cowards that hide behind the computer screen, not interested in making anything better whatsoever. They just want to project their anger onto others.
When they're even
they think
real
it works. When they're even real people, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah. I found I used to, like, I couldn't control myself. Whenever I saw someone saying something wrong on the internet, I had to like go make it better. And 9 times out of 10,
I know
it's a bot. It's just a bot.
The way I see, like, the way I see the why don't you leave comment, for me, it's like, I don't want to leave, because if you leave, then all you're leaving behind is like the people that support all of those bad things. And like, I came from Argentina, right, to America, and the reason my mom brought us here was because in Argentina was just beyond fixing at that time, right? We had like 4 presidents within 2 weeks. This was like in 2001, right after 9/11. And so we moved here because in her opinion, this was a better place. And it was right. Like, even though things have gotten really bad now, like back when we moved here 25 years ago, it was a pretty decent place to live in. And so we came here because of that. And I don't want to let that place go. Like, I don't want that place to go to hell, basically. Like, I want to make it better. I want to make sure that the place that I came to stays the place that I came to. Okay, maybe not stay the same, right? But like improve it. Hopefully.
Yeah, and that's a big difference in worldviews, to borrow from their worldview and the way we see things. It isn't actually a dichotomy. Everybody has their own unique values on any specific proposition or moral question. We don't all think the same, and they all think the same, obviously. But we tend to value making things better for everyone, including ourselves, but also the other people. Whereas the people who are like, oh, I need to go somewhere where only my values will be represented, for them, it's all about them. It's me, me, me. Whereas we're us, you know? And that's why we don't leave, because we also care about the other people who maybe can't leave, or we're thinking about experiences in our own pasts where we could have really, really used somebody who stood the fuck up and stood beside us. And so now we want to be that person for someone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
The human side of us.
That this lady on screen here, they took their red votes away from Texas now.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Let's vote.
No, and I do want to get back to the video, but I mean, that actually kind of reminds me of another video I sent to Ember too, where Rebecca Watson was trying to make a case. It's like, why do we have to be nice to them, or why do we have to go out of our way to like try to envelop people who, are essentially a broken clock. They're only sorry because something happened to affect them. They're still against all the other things. They just don't like this one thing that affected them, which ostensibly, if it stopped hurting them, would be totally for it again. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot to be said on that subject.
And I don't want to get into it here, but like, it's just, well, here, because we're talking about this other topic, but I mean, I do think it is kind of part and parcel of like a bigger issue that we're having in America.
Right. The discussion. Should we forgive these people and welcome into our ranks to bolster our ranks? Fuck no. Not just because they will revert on every other issue just as soon as they're free, but also because they the words elude me at the moment.
Still early.
Happens all the time.
I know, we need more coffee.
Brain stuff.
I know, right?
Actually, I was just thinking, like, we have 6 women here, and we have not taken a bio break yet.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I did.
I just turned off my camera, and I was like, adios.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did that.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
That was the last thing I did before we
Christmas
started the stream. I was good for 2 hours at least.
Hell yeah. And I'm a professional driver, or I was a professional driver, so I go long periods. But yeah, that's one of the beauties of having multiple people, is if somebody needs to pop out, they just can. And it doesn't.
Everybody keeps going, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big production. But the thing about forgiving them, that's part of that whole suck up to the right culture that the Democrats fell so hard for this past election cycle. They like to say, oh, it's all these extremists that made us lose to Trump. No. It's all you fuckers who are like, oh, forget about the people who these policies are making suffer. I'm not suffering, so if I lick your boots, maybe you'll vote for my guy. That doesn't work, that hasn't ever worked, and fuck you for saying so.
Yeah.
That's just my hot take, though. Controversial opinion, I know.
And also the 1/3 that were like, I don't really care, so I'm not gonna vote.
Oh yeah, the
Don't get me
privilege.
that one
that
too.
half. That was
having-
probably half of all voters, and don't get me started on that.
For sure. It's so infuriating because like we look at the totals and it's like 130 million votes ish out of 200 million registered voters. Like more people didn't vote than either candidate got. Even as hyper polarized as everything is. It's fucking hell, people. But I guess it's always been that way in the US, right? Like in the American Revolution, only about a third of the people wanted to get out from under England's thumb. Another third thought licking the boots would be the way to forward. And another third completely neutral. They just, that doesn't affect me. Fuck it.
You can't be neutral. You can't be neutral in these cases.
Not,
Some
yeah.
people try.
You are the supporter or you don't.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, seriously, being neutral, I mean, you're pretty much just supporting fascism. And they like to say, well, I didn't even vote. I'm like, it's worse. It's so much worse.
Not
it's like,
often case. Yes.
you know, it's like you saw me walking into an open manhole and you couldn't even yell, like, hey, watch out. Like it wasn't that important to you. Like it's not better. It's not better.
No, I think there's been a concerted effort to make sure we don't think that it's valuable, to make sure that we think our vote doesn't matter, to make sure that we, you know, that voting's on a day when a lot of people have to work and maybe can't leave work to go vote. Like,
yes, all of that. Also,
it's intentional.
Yes, it is one that is intentional,
true.
And that they've been pushing that for a long time. Like the whole two sides of this, both parties are the same, and you know, and I will, you know, admit to having said that in the past. Just meaning, when I said it, I meant that both parties were what do you call it? They both took orders from the same oligarchs. You know, we do know that the oligarchy is paying both sides, and that I think there was even a study showing that it doesn't matter what the will of the voter is. Like the Congress is going to sway with their benefactors, and that's been going on ever since the 2010. Oh my God, words.
Citizens United.
Citizens United, yes.
Oh, that was the worst thing.
It really was. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that led up to it, but yeah, it was the worst thing. And then, and since then, it's like, yeah, it's been diminishing our vote because like they just don't care. All they do is placate the voters so that they, you know, but whoever gets into office, it doesn't really matter because they're both going to support the benefactors. And so that's what I meant with that. And I think that people who aren't really in tune, I think that people who aren't really in tune, they'll think that it means that, oh, both parties are actually the same and will do the same things. And I'm like, no, one party is actively trying to kill half the people. So like that is not what I meant, but I knew that then. Like, it's totally different. But like, it's just like, to what you were saying, it is, I mean, I think a lot of people are just kind of out of touch and not listening to the rhetoric and not really in tune with what is actually going on. And then I really want everybody to pay special attention now to what is happening because they are trying to, it is just blatant misinformation at this point. And what they're trying to do is to confuse fact from fiction so that people actively disengage. They want you to see that you were wrong. Like at this point, they want you to think with your whole heart and soul that one thing was right, see that it's wrong, and then not trust yourself and then disengage. That is where they're going right now.
Yep. Goes back to basics.
Yeah, Joseph in the chat, my husband actually,
hi, Joe.
made a really good point. Because he said that uneducated voters are a big problem. Okay, and I had this conversation on my channel with somebody and who was saying that he didn't vote because he didn't feel educated enough to do so. And I was like, well, you know, like we have to do something about that. Like, what is the reason that these people are not educated enough, right? I also know other people that are just for their sanity, they're like, well, I don't watch the news, so they're like really not aware of what's going on around them. And it's like, that's a big problem because they go into the voting booths and they just click a box, like whatever name they're more familiar with or whatever, not even knowing what they're voting for.
Yeah.
Well, civics has been sadly lacking in the public school system.
Right.
Again, intentionally.
Whenever that was removed
for quite some time.
It's one of the first things we got rid of when we started dismantling our educational system, along with propaganda. Yeah, that used to be a class in the 50s and 60s. We had to learn what propaganda was so that we could deal with the Russians saturating our country with their propaganda. We need to, even though we were doing the same thing, right? Like McCarthy, I have here a list of names. Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? All that crap. But there was a class on propaganda in public schools. It was standard. It was everywhere. Got rid of it. Civics, gone. Like most of the basic skills for doing anything other than being a factory worker have been stripped out of our curriculums.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, our current, orange in chief actually said that he loves the uneducated. So,
well, of course, our cult leader actually came out and said he has no respect for people that he can so easily manipulate. Hence, he called all of his followers dumb sheep. Of course, he likes dumb fucking sheep, as he calls them. He can
why because they're gonna vote for him? Who else is going to vote for him? Well, the rich. Yeah, the rich.
Exactly. He preyed on the vulnerable.
Like the very rich and the very, very uneducated. That's
why don't Christians not indoctrinate children and let them process through the age of reason, and then as adults, hey, here you go. What do you think? Just sinking in? No.
Yeah, because honestly,
Bible being taught as fact at an early age.
Yeah, if you think about it, like you can include the very deeply indoctrinated Christians as uneducated in a way, because they're not being educated on like real science and real information. Like they believe in all of these insane like supernatural beliefs and young earth creation and all that shit. And
it can take a lifetime to break. It is unbelievable. Yeah, how to indoctrinate it. That's the task at hand, huh?
It is. Yeah. It's a long journey.
Of several other situations with a similar thing. Like they talk about how it's unethical to put kids in a variety of certain situations because it might cause permanent irreversible harm. But because they're insisting on their way being the way of choice, that itself causes harm that's very difficult, takes years and years, and often is very expensive to undo.
Yeah.
If you've been taught from a young age to swallow one fiction whole, you're just that much more vulnerable to all the rest. No, that's true.
Well, yeah.
You just have a way with words, Patty.
Well, I mean, and it's also the way the brain works. When your brain is literally forming, and like those neural pathways are being, the pathways are being like bounded, and so the way you think as a child, and we're talking about, whether you're loved or abused or whether you're affirmed or if you're oppressed, it has long-lasting effects far into your adulthood. And it is just so hard to retrain your brain to think a different way.
Because it actually starts before you even start to set memories. Like,
yes.
From birth, basically. Yeah. Literally from birth, like your brain connections are being made. Yeah.
Yep.
Like learning a language. Yeah, that shit'll stick with you. You learn that at a young age. Yeah.
Yeah, and language also, it has a cyclical effect. Like the way you learn, the language that you're brought up in also has an effect on the way you think. I'm sorry, psych nerd, never, don't mind me.
No, I think that's super fascinating. Like I learned somewhere along the way that in German they've got a word for like our emotions, and it was an emotion that it's that feeling you get when you're like recognizing authoritarianism creeping into your government or something, and they have a word for that. Like,
yeah,
wow, what does that do for your brain if you have words for things that
You can
right
express
now,
things.
it feels like yuck, but what do I say?
That's how I
Yeah.
felt like as a JW. I didn't have the language to express what I was feeling. So I imagine it's very similar that they've expressed themselves to the point where that we haven't gotten there. We haven't created the language for it.
Well, we were taught not to feel. So how in the fuck do we identify
Right.
feelings when we don't
exactly.
even know what we're feeling? We're just
Repressed.
squash them.
Stifled and repressed and restricted.
Yeah. That was the entire point of 1984, is if you can control the language, you can control what people are even able to think.
Yeah.
Still have to read that book.
The good news is that the brain is malleable. Like, you can affect it in ways that you don't even realize. Okay, I always talk about this because it happened to me. Okay, you guys know that I'm deaf and that I used to be legally blind for quite a few years. So during my childhood, I had my vision was decent. It wasn't amazing, but it was decent, and I could see like colors and everything. So my hearing was terrible. I was like almost completely deaf. Like one side was like 8% hearing, something like that. So my thinking was very visual. Like I was seeing very bright colors and, you know, images constantly. I was dreaming the same way. Then within the last like 10 years or so, when I got my cochlear implant and my vision started going away, and that's when I became legally blind, and my thinking completely changed. So I guess it was because of the senses that my brain was perceiving things differently. So my thinking became mostly verbal, like a voice in my head, which wasn't there before. And like the visual thinking became dimmed and more dimmed. I would dream and I couldn't see people's faces. Everything was like very toned down in color. And after my cochlear implant, after my corneal transplant, I started seeing the very bright colors and lights and everything. The first night that they took off the patch from one of my eyes, I dreamed in like super bright colors, which hadn't happened in like so many years. It was like, to me, it was crazy the way like my brain was readjusting to the way that the senses were perceiving information. It's incredible.
Really cool.
Yeah, so like it goes to show the way that we can, if we allow this information in, right? Like if you don't close off your minds to learning new things, to being like, hey, I'm wrong about whatever ideas I have of, let's say, trans people, right? Like they shouldn't have surgery, so why are they modifying the body or whatever? Like if you open up your mind and realize that these are just human beings trying to be human, and you allow that information in, it's like your thinking can change. Okay, like you're not set, like, yeah, right, like as Maya said, our brain wiring comes from the day that we were born, but we can change that. We can change it. It's never too late.
That brings me hope. Yay.
I agree that it's not too late.
The plasticity, the way it can change and adapt. I mean, you know, like AJ was saying about her senses changing as her physical inputs changed. And we've seen studies along those lines too. I'm thinking in particular of one person who was born blind, and scientists, just as an experiment, put a digital sensor and attached it to her tongue. And it uses like pressure sensors to describe visual data. And within 3 days, her visual cortex started processing and she could fucking see through her tongue because the brain can adapt like crazy.
Wow.
That's
Incredible. Like it's so exciting, the things that we can accomplish when we put our minds to it. But if these cult members have their way, they will rewind time to the point where we will not be explorers anymore.
Right. That's what they're working on. Yeah. But look at these incredible things that we do as humans when we stop looking up at some deity and we look towards each other.
We focus on helping one another, how much we could fix.
But I had a Catholic family member told me that I should have been happy with the way the Lord made me, and basically like not have all these surgeries, you know, like the cochlear implant and the corneal transplant. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I wouldn't be experiencing this right now. Like with my hearing aid, there's no way that I could have a conversation like this. So it's like, it would be like closing myself off to like this tiny little world of like not being able to see or hear, like just a little bubble.
And I don't understand that way of thinking anyway. I'm like, okay, if God didn't want us to do it, then God wouldn't have allowed us to have it. Like, how do you look at the Tower of Babel story and then think that, you know, God, when God really doesn't want something to happen, that he doesn't just strike it down? Like, if we have something, if we have something, and that's the story that I usually give to Christians when they're like, well, you know, whether it's the trans issue or the gay issue or, you know, anything else, it's like, well, God knows what he made. Like, God
apparently perfect.
Yeah,
Bree's in the house, by the way. Woo!
And you say the easiest way for me, you know, and buzz out to Bree. The easiest way for me to shut down Christians is just to say, you know, Jesus said the greatest commandment in the law was to love. I was called to love, and you know, if God has an issue with something, it sounds like a God issue.
Okay, by the way, I met Bree in person this weekend. I gave her a big hug and got to spend time with her.
She'll get the best hugs.
She's awesome. She's beautiful. Yay. Absolutely beautiful.
I know. I saw all your pictures. It looked like an amazing time, AJ.
Yeah.
Everyone
showed so much fun.
I want to thank all you ladies who threw pictures on Facebook. Oh my God. Like I was, totally like freaking out just to be able to see people together and, you know, to get, because like here it just looks like we're all the same height and I don't really.
It's hard to get a sense.
Yeah.
Like so many times people think like, oh, I thought you were shorter or I thought you were taller. Like,
yeah. I am tiny.
Yeah.
Same.
You said it, AJ. You are the shortest one in the community, I think. You are a darling. Yes. I was pretty shocked by how tall Forrest Valkai was, actually. I remember meeting him in person. Whoa, dude, you're taller than I thought.
He's super tall, but he's not the tallest though. Dan
Bree's 7'1"
is a lot taller. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Bree's like 5'10".
Still come, Bree.
I don't think that's true. Me too.
I'm sorry. She's totally 7'10". Wink. She's an Amazon.
I'm an Amazon. Let's be Amazons together.
I believe Amazon women. Now you are Khaleesi, Ryan. You said it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You are Khaleesi on the dragon.
Yeah, I like that. Like a gnat, like Kali, just a bad bitch taking over.
5'10" is still really tall, Bree. Wow.
For a woman, yeah.
It is. That's a good height.
My daughter's 5'10" also. She towers.
Oh wow.
Lucky. I'm 5'9". I wish I was 5'10". I wish I was 6 foot, quite frankly.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to intimidate a man. I think that makes me feel good. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Do you ever wear those boots with the platforms on them?
Me?
Oh yeah.
I should do.
Yeah, no, that would get you to 6 foot.
That would get me there.
Mm-hmm. Like
my older daughter is like 5'4", so she wears these like punk curb stomper boots. They have like 6-inch platforms and then another 3-inch heel on top of it. And she's like, aha, I'm gonna stomp on y'all.
Romper bumper, stomper boo. That's what it reminded me of just now. We're back on the Java and Jugs train. I
love that. Like, you know, that was like my favorite program as a kid.
I definitely
had to look
some of those. I'm 4'8".
I loved it.
I don't think we're gonna get any shorter person
4'8"?
in the community. Yeah.
You have a stool in the kitchen?
I do. I have them everywhere. I have one in my bedroom and in the kitchen.
Wow. That makes sense.
I'm 5'2", and usually I'm looking up at everybody.
Sometimes I just use a chair because like the stool is not even helpful.
Not tall enough.
Yeah, I stand on chairs all the time.
Same.
I guess it's just what Maya and Ryan I haven't met in person.
Not yet.
Not yet, but it's very important to me to meet a lot of the content creators in person. It does.
I want to do it too.
Bree's the only one that's met me, and it's weird because so many people are on the East Coast. You would think that, and I'm only like half an hour from Dr. Josh. I've met no one.
Oh, nice.
Dr. Josh, Megan. So lucky.
I didn't know you're that close to them. Oh, cool.
I know. Yeah. Eventually we will get there. Once we're like famous on here and super filthy rich, because we know that like being in the left politics, you know, just
we'll buy like a little plane and fly and grab everybody and take them to one place.
Why don't we soak up that secular tithe money and buy a private jet that all of us, the atheist community, can use? Come on.
So we don't have to. You can't expect us to ride in a plane with all those demonic Christians.
Like my teenager knows how to fly a plane, so we already have a pilot.
Outside.
Right. Yeah, communist plane, because of course we would. The People's Airline.
I like it.
I like it. By the way, Ryan, I like your background. I don't know if I told you that already. It's so fun.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's electric. It's neon. I like bright stuff. I can't help myself.
Neon. Yay!
Same. Bright colors are fucking cool. Yeah. Do you guys want to stick around a little bit longer and try to finish this video, Asterisk? Or do you want to try to
I'm down.
I'm available.
Great, Ryan. Okay. You don't have to run to the gym.
No, not on Thursdays.
Okay.
Off day.
Let's do it.
Cool. Alrighty.
Every other place we looked in Europe was having the same problems that America's having, being overrun by immigrants.
Have I told you guys how much I hate this woman? If
Overrun.
I'm sorry.
Overrun.
Oh,
my eyes just roll back into my head.
Right.
But also,
I had to laugh or I cussed.
I live in a land that was basically created by immigrants coming here, but my God.
Everywhere else. No, it's like I was saying earlier. Everywhere else she looked, every other place with white people were letting in immigrants. so we had to go to Russia. God.
Holy shit.
Like, and she's an immigrant.
Well, we had to run somewhere and be immigrants ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like, please tell me how you had that like logic. What was the rationality there?
Tell me you hate brown people without telling me you hate brown people.
No. I guess being a white immigrant is different. So if they're South African and they're coming to this country, that would be okay. Right. That kind of immigrant is fine because you have the same ideology, your supremacist viewpoints.
I haven't said it yet. I fucking hate this woman. I hate the smugness of her. You know, oh my God, and look, it took her a while to get there. But she finally got there. She's a racist. So not only is she homophobic, she's also a fucking racist. And that is why I hate her as well. She finally got there. She was like, you know what? We went to Europe. We were like, let's go to Europe. There's a lot of white people there as well. But then I realized Europe's going through the same thing as America. Immigrants are going there. There's black and brown people there. So no, we're not going to go to Europe. We're going to go somewhere that sucks so much. Brown and black people will never go there. So fuck it. Let's go to Russia. Goodness.
It didn't take her that long to get there.
It's true.
Wow.
The white paradise.
The land of the white.
Yes. Yeah. The land of the free. I mean, white. I mean, oops.
Yeah. Christian values.
Yeah.
Breaking into cars. Fuck. There's crime in Russia. In case anyone doesn't notice, like Google it. There's crime in Russia. They break into cars. They kidnap people. There's trafficking going on there. All of the things that she says she left America for, it's happening in Russia, except for there's no gay and brown people, or there's way less gay and brown people. Like the gay people, they got to stay in the closet in Russia because Russia don't play that. And brown and black people, they're not moving to Russia. They don't want to be there. So this place is perfect for us. And listen, these people are talking about family values, right? They both say, oh, we took our kids here for the family values. Just want to let you guys know, Both of them are divorced and have kids from their previous families. Those kids are still in America. They're like 19, 20, and 21 years old. So, you know, it's always funny to me when these people start talking about Christian family values and they're all on their second and third, you know, marriages and everything. And that's not me even saying I got a problem with people being married once or twice or three times or whatever. I really don't care. But if you're running around telling people we want our Christian family values and you happen to be on your second wedding, your second marriage, I'm going to call you out on that shit. So here you have it. They're racist, they're homophobic, they decide to move their family to Russia. And they don't like immigrants, even though they're migrating to another country where they don't speak the language. And they're mad about America having people who migrated there who don't speak the language. But here they are in Russia not speaking the language. Well, because of that, because they're in Russia, they don't speak the language, they want to, you know, fast forward their immigration status. The husband decides to join the military. Yes, he joins the military because that'll make them Russian citizens a lot quicker, and it'll allow them to have their kids go to school without having to speak Russian. So these people hate immigrants in America. They hate the fact that they don't speak the language, that they look different, all that. So they decided to go to Russia as immigrants who don't speak the language, and their dumbass husband, the dumbass dad, decides to join the military because he can sign a 1-year contract and then they become citizens and their kids can go to school even though they don't speak Russian. This story is fucking crazy, but watch it.
My husband has decided to go into the army.
I have joined the Russian military. I will be heading to the special military.
First of all,
did they do it in English? How do you do it if you don't speak the language?
So because Russia is not American, so they speak more than one language.
But that's what I'm saying they instruct all in English.
They came to them in English, broken English probably, because anybody in Russia that can speak fluent English is being put into like these jobs where they can where they can what do you call it? Misinformation on the internet. So like, you know, all the Russian, quote unquote, Russian bots, the ones that where you're like, oh, you're just a bot, but they're like on Twitter, and it's like, this is misinformation. Like, it's a human. It's not just a bot. It's a human that's spewing misinformation. Like those are the people. Like, they actually do look for people that can speak that are pretty fluent in English.
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that's what I was asking. How do they get taught? That's what I was asking. Like, how do they get taught? So they get taught.
They probably have people who teach them who also speak English that are Russian.
I mean, you speak English. I mean, but again, a lot of it's broken English. A lot, like, you know, well, if you don't have the immersion, it's really hard to be fluent. So
I'm a lot of saying, if I was Russian in the army, I wouldn't feel comfortable next to an American who didn't speak my language. That's all. Right. I don't understand.
Oh, okay. For him, they don't care. Look, okay. So why? Okay, Russia has lost a lot of people.
So they'll just send them to
this 3-day war. Like in this 3-day war, they are all immigrants that come there. Whether it doesn't matter if you're there in a student visa or, you know, like, don't stay too long on a travel visa. Like, they're like throwing people into the war because, like, they tried to once do a draft, and then everybody tried to all the Russians tried to ship off their sons to other countries because they did not support the war when they had a leg in it. So now they're trying to
take anybody, basically. They'll take anybody.
Any non-Russian, any male non-Russian of age that goes into Russia, doesn't matter what color you are, what country you're coming from. They're trying as quickly as possible to fill you into their army, the front lines, because they've lost so many people. It's nuts. Also,
thank you,
Ukraine.
So that makes sense. I was just curious. Like, that makes total sense. I was just like, how, like, you know, like,
we're happy to see him because they know that he's getting,
he'll be the one to get murked instead of them. Oh my God.
Yeah, they straight up used him exactly like everyone said they would do. they made him and his family into propaganda. They were like, look, the US is so terrible, the Americans are fleeing here. And also, hey, people in the US, come to Russia. Look how welcomed you'll be. And as soon as they were done filming their propos, as soon as they had the message out and the misinformation and all the bullshit, off to the war and back in a body bag. They use you, they're done with you. And we're trying, apparently, to make the United States the same as that.
Yeah,
Christian values.
But and the thing is, in Russia, like, they don't have our, I say morals or whatever, but like, they don't necessarily feel compelled to tell you when, you know, your family member is missing in action, or if you know that they've been,
that's freaking messed up.
Yeah.
Wowsies.
Unfinished Journey says, don't move to Russia and become cannon fodder. Let them share the stream instead.
That is sound advice. That is the soundest advice Journey has ever
I got to
given.
give it up for that. Can concur. Yikes.
Journey has unlimited amounts of wisdom. Always dropping hot takes. Good shit. Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Military operation. Big reason I'm doing it is for the citizenship. So if I sign a 1-year contract and I go and serve it, my family and I all get Russian citizenship. Get it the regular way, it takes about 5 to 6 years. You go through temporary residency, and then after 8 or 9 months, you can apply for permanent residency. And then I think it takes another 4 or 5 years of living on that. And then you can finally get citizenship. It's a long journey, a long way. And if I do this contract, we can get it right away, which is huge. Health benefits, hopefully school for the girls. Deanna will be able to work. A big part of it for me is about the respect and earning our place here in Russia, earning our citizenship.
Yeah.
And if I go put my body on the line for Russia, I defend the country, our new country. I've earned our place here.
Yes.
And nobody can tell me different or tell my family.
So let's
grave cannot tell you different.
First of all, super patriot, going to go serve in the military of a different country. But as an immigrant, he believes that he can go, he can do a thing, he can do a civic duty and earn his place. But that same thing is not true of immigrants in the US.
Yeah, who do serve the country in the military, and they're too brown to earn respect from him.
I was gonna say
Exactly.
that's all it is. It's just because of a different color.
100%.
Yeah, well, there's brown people in the U.S. Army. In fact, well, there's a whole thing with the military recruiting primarily in urban sectors, but that's a whole other talk we don't have time for.
It's a whole nother stream.
Liam makes an excellent point.
Yeah,
He's
for
not
them.
defending Russia. He's invading Ukraine on Russia's behalf.
Oh,
Yep.
But to them, the word immigrant has nothing to do with changing countries and the legality of it. To them, like, they say immigrant to refer to anybody that's like brown.
Yep.
I told you, it's just like,
Way different.
whose dog
We
was
don't
it that
belong
was
here.
calling it out earlier? It was like, these are dog whistles. I was like, see, even the dog hears it. It's horrible.
yeah, exactly. Good point, Monty. Where are all the white illegals getting deported? I've not been seeing any of those videos at all.
Nope.
Actually, we
There's a few.
actually did have there were Germans that were deported, Canadians. Canada actually has a travel advisory on us right now.
Yeah, they have. For
Yep.
Because
Even New Zealand.
a white Canadian died in ICE custody. So
Oh, I remember reading about that. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, people are getting
How
caught
many?
at that border as well. We're just not necessarily hearing as much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
there's a lot
we're
of countries
toxic.
who just will not travel here because they will go after any immigrant. They're just making a big stink. Well, these people talk about it a little bit too. The whole thing with, oh, you're supposed to be targeting illegals. What do you mean you're coming for me? You're also in that group, bestie.
Listen, say what you want about this family. This man committed to his stupidity. Like, he said, listen, we moved to Russia. Stupid ass decision. We don't speak the language, so our kids can't go to school. We can't become citizens for like 4 or 5 years. How can I commit to this stupidity? And he said, I'm going to join the military. If I join the military, it takes us 1 year, babe. I'm going to get a citizenship. Kids get to go to school, even though they don't speak Russian. I'm doing it. This guy took stupidity to the next level. I got to give him props for committing to that stupidity. He did it.
I mean, well, I don't even understand that though. Like, my kids don't have to learn Russian, but they can still go to school. Like, what is supposed to? I don't know what Russia does. Like, if your kids, if they're a citizen, do they just get like English tutors? I don't. Like, why wouldn't you want your kids, if you want your kids to go to school, why wouldn't it be a priority for them to know the language?
You would
learn Russian.
Yeah.
Christian values. We have to, it's such a,
well, English is good enough for Jesus.
Standard, because he's like, we have to preserve our culture. That's why we fled to this country. So, the kids have to learn English and be Christians and know conservative values and all this bullshit. But it's wrong when the brown people want to preserve their culture when they come to a different country to escape a horrible situation.
But also, we've had such a stranglehold on the world that so many other countries teach English to all the kids in school, along with whatever language studies they're doing, in a way that we don't really do. We do it as like, you got to do a couple years of another language. But like, other countries are serious about everybody knowing English too.
Well, I mean, it's the international language of business, because you have to remember, before the United States was the world power, it was England.
Yeah. Right.
So,
It always tickles me when someone says English is the lingua franca. I'm like, think about what you just said and in what language you said it.
Right. You did not say it in English.
Who was it? Oh gosh. The former female governor of Alaska. What was her name? Palin. Sarah Palin.
Oh yeah.
Who said,
Sarah, I can
so
see
infamously,
in
America, speak American.
Oh, God.
I mean, well, fair. We do speak American, and as the Aussies and the English and the Canadians will even tell you.
American English.
Yeah. Yep.
Canadian English, Australian English. Yes.
We got American.
America.
Yeah. All sorts of flavors of English. I think Gibraltar even has its own flavor, even though it's, smaller than any particular neighborhood of London. Hell, England has so many different Englishes. There's Cockney and there's Oxford, and they're just all every 10 feet there's a different dialect. It's kind of neat.
In India, every state has their own language, but it goes beyond that. So, like, majority of the country speaks Hindi, but then you have every state speaks a different language. Like, can you imagine? And then it's broken down kind of by district as well. And then you have tribal people that have their own languages. It is crazy. My husband speaks like 6 or 7 different languages, just depending on where he's at. Here in this country, we're just like, oh, English, and we don't want to learn anything else.
Yeah, my parents live in Switzerland, and they, the major language is German, but there's also Swiss German, and then like some of the smaller cantons have like their own like sort of different version of the Swiss German, and then pretty much everybody speaks like whatever language is around the border, because Switzerland is so small. So there's like some people speak like French or Italian or whatever. So it's pretty cool. My dad speaks pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Spanish.
And it's really cool. There was a linguist, I forget who off the top of my head, but he said a thing that stuck with me. A person who speaks only one language understands none of them. And it stuck with me because when I was in high school and got the free language classes and whatnot, I started thinking in other languages, and that was the coolest freaking thing. But also it let me like examine the concepts. Like words don't have an absolute meaning. They just convey an idea. And the more different ways you have to conceptualize how you might wrap those ideas and present them lets you deconstruct this concept of definitionalism, the prescriptivism that authoritarians like to use to insist that black is white, up is down, freedom is slavery, and all this shit that we see in the US. I strongly suspect that's a big part of why we do such a half-assed job with second languages. We make them optional, we only give a few years, and you can only start them late into adolescence, because they want to be a single language culture specifically so they can control how people think. It's just my speculation, though. I mean, you know.
No, that's really good. That's really good.
He signed a 1-year contract. He was supposed to go into like welding and maybe media. They lied to him. They did. They lied to him. He's on the front lines right now. They gave him like 2 weeks of training. And said, here you go. Take a gun, go to the front. Good luck. He doesn't speak the language. So imagine there are going to be people who are depending on him to fight with them, who he's depending on. They're going to be speaking a different language than him. Like, odds are this man is not going to survive. Now the wife is making videos about how she's trying to get the message out there, and hopefully, you know, they can use him for his skills that they promised to use him for, and not being on the front line, because he...
Yes, armies never lie about what job you're going to have in the army.
Right.
True that. I think, yeah. Ember, you were in, was it the Navy?
Yes.
I forget, it was in the Navy.
I remember a thing a comedian Mike Warnke once said that always stuck with me is, when you go in to see the recruiters, whether it's the Navy or the Marines or whatever, the recruiter isn't there to recruit you per se. If you're there, you're probably already sold on joining the service. No, what the recruiter's job is, they sit down with you and they let you pick out what they want you to be.
Makes sense. I think that goes for like gym memberships too. You know, if you want to sell a gym membership, if they've already come there, it's likely they are interested in signing up. You've just got to walk. You've got to walk their finger to the pen. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they'll sell you out that, you know, you can enter this program. Like with the Navy, when I joined, they were like pushing nuke really, really hard. They were like, you know, become a nuclear engineer, work on a submarine, and then you can go work in all these power plants that are opening up all over the place, which it may or may not be true. But then when you actually enter, all of a sudden now your job is actually, say, electronic ordnance disposal, and you get to take apart all the bombs, because that's a useful skill after you get out, and also totally safe. We super promise. Yes.
Yeah. I was recruited into logistics management, and the only reason that was that particular field was because they wanted to deploy me. The rest of my military career was all HR, all of it. That was the only time I actually used that MOS.
Did you have 2 weeks of training too?
No. 2 months.
Anybody who would go out on the do anything after 2 weeks of training? Sorry,
I know, it
he's a pawn in the Russian army. That's
that they don't care if he survives. Like, you don't need training. Get out there. Like,
like there wasn't even any plans for him in the army outside of a year. They were like, this is too generous of an amount of time. Like, there's no way.
I wonder if she's getting any benefits. I guess maybe will we get to that?
No, this video actually ends while he's deployed. He isn't up to date. I don't know how far back this video is from, but I mean, he died pretty quickly within the first month, I think.
Oh wow!
So
could you imagine
he was deployed, but before?
And we would get benefits, but again, this is the Russian army. I have no idea what their. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that they give, or if you have to be a citizen to get it, or what that looks like.
You get free burial.
Yeah, probably. You may just get left on the battlefield.
Caskets.
It's for you. Because if he was shipped to Ukraine, do they feel any like the Ukrainians aren't going to have any idea who he is, and are they going to feel any like compulsion to bring him back to Russian soil?
Considering the situation with the kidnapped children, I don't think they're awfully inclined to return anybody to anyone at this point. But I don't know.
Go
Maybe
take
they're doing
resources.
better. I suppose I should clarify. There's a situation. The portion of Ukraine that the Russians have occupied, they've been abducting children and saying, oh, their parents are probably killed. They have something like 19,000 children, and they're refusing to return them. They've changed all their names. They're assigning them to Russian families. They're just literally trying to erase the Ukrainian culture, taking away their children. It's like several articles in the Geneva Convention. It's a straight up fucking war crime, but they're doing it and no one's talking about it.
Well,
I gotta clarify.
Because well, I mean, Putin is wanted in The Hague, but
war criminal. He's a war criminal.
He and Netanyahu can come to the United States, and we can smile on their face and wave, and then wish them good a fond farewell and their travels back to their where we're supposed to be like taking them and like giving them to, but as details, as Ember would say. We're just
details. Just hand wave it all away. It's fucking wild.
I appreciate you bringing that up, Ember. You always seem to find, and Maya too, you both just seem to find all the stories that are not in mainstream media, things that I would have had no idea to even think to look up on what is going on.
Well, I appreciate that, but from my perspective, it scares the shit out of me.
Well,
because I'm only aware of random shit that has crossed my perspective. And so I'm like, if there's so many people who have no idea about this stuff, how much is there I'm not aware of?
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's what I think any sane person would ask themselves, and be like, I feel like I know so much, and yet there's other people out there that know so
it's just
far
impossible
less
to know
than
everything.
I do.
It's impossible to know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, social media has made it so easy for us to get this information, but at the same time, it's really biased because it's tailored to like our algorithm, right? Like whatever you search, whatever you look at, is what it's gonna feed you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect everybody to know about. I mean, this actually did make the rounds around progressive media, but I wouldn't expect everybody to know like little stories like this. I would hope that people at least are keeping their eye on bigger stories, especially around policies and things like that.
Yeah.
Independent media is really good to follow these days, for sure.
Yeah.
If you have recommendations, Pat, send them my way. I'm always looking for those.
Oh yeah, I think I don't know. Ember, did I send you anybody that was new to you? She asked for like help with like some of these stories, and I sent her like 10 within an hour.
Yeah, actually quite a few. A lot of the TikTok ones, for example, because like I mentioned, there's a lot of great resources on TikTok, but also a lot of bullshit. But I try to work too much, and I never actually take time to go over there. I'm only ever on TikTok when I have something to post. It's like the only time I drop by.
It's too much.
Fucking
like
wild.
all the socials, God.
Yeah, I mean, who can keep up with all that shit? But speaking of keeping up with shit, John Fabiano asked how many streams there are. We're currently on 3 channels. Mine and the Apostate Sisters and Ryan set one up. Ryan also. So
I'll
if
set
you're
one up
watching on any
tomorrow.
of these, you make sure
And I was
to pop by the others, like and
This
subscribe,
is the Daily Atheist.
share, do all the things. And a lot of people are saying we should do this more often. I think most of us completely agree. We don't want to step on Chris's toes. He's
I'm
the one who got
down.
the morning show thing going.
right.
But at
I
the
do.
same
I want to
time-
step on his toes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
He may be into that. I don't know. We'll have to ask the evil one.
What is it? Java and
Java and Jugs.
Java and Jugs. Yeah, no, yeah, this could be a thing, ladies.
Java and
I
Jugs.
know.
Java and
Oh, yeah.
Jugs. Java and
Two
Jugs.
things I love.
Yay.
Two things I love together. I mean,
Absolutely.
what could I want more?
We're definitely doing this again tomorrow because Chris is on break for sure. So again, make sure you're subscribed wherever you prefer to view. But do check out the other
Everybody
shows
here.
as well. Show some love.
everyone here.
All the links. I don't know for sure about all the descriptions, but the links are in descriptions, and we'll update. AJ jumped in towards the end there, so we'll add AJ to the description as well.
Thank you.
There's all the wonderful things, but
And actually, I was going to ask you. Well, it's probably a better after stream thing, but if I could, if ladies, you don't mind if I like take this, like cut it up and throw it in my, because I need more content.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What's mine is yours, Maya.
Take all that you
Boobies
want,
included.
Maya, dear.
Yes,
Boobs
boobies
included.
We share the love.
Yes.
We
There it is
have,
on tape. All right.
we have the one and only Eric Murphy in the house. I don't think
I
he's gotten
saw.
our boobage yet. There you go, bud. There you go.
Yay.
Yay,
Eric
there's
Murphy.
something. Throw a little
Hey.
bit JJ in there too for Java. Okay, is this stream going to be called Java and Jugs tomorrow?
I mean, we can do that. I'll have to make some
I'm
thumbnail,
down
but
for
honestly,
whatever.
my thumbnails
Right.
are shit compared to Patty. So
We're just replacing Chris's show. Yay.
Like I said, we may not give it back.
We're taking
Maybe
over
not.
and things. Oh, goodness.
Matriarchy now.
Hey.
But yeah,
make
give
sure
her
you
this video.
make sure you sub to all the women.
Yay.
Yes.
yes,
Sub it
all the
hard,
good things.
please.
Before we wrap up, again, we'll be at this again tomorrow, so make sure your notifications on. If you're watching in the future, I should have said this at the beginning, because after 2.5 hours, I don't know. But if you're watching us in the future, make sure the notification bell is on so you can catch us tomorrow on whichever channel you prefer. But before we go, what are we all up to? Where else can people find y'all?
Well, you can find me here, Ryan Caltastic. I post content practically every day. Most of it is shorts, but I try to do like long format once or twice a week. I might up that, but anyway, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yay. Patty.
Sure. So I'm Patty. I'm one half of the Apostate Sisters, and we are here. Either you're on this channel or you're on YouTube watching right now. We also have a little bit of a presence on Instagram, but we love talking about our cult and deconstructing the cult that exists in our culture.
We heal from, or help ourselves and others heal from religious trauma, in particular things like purity culture and bodily autonomy, and just all the subtle ways that cults and high control religions can control and coerce us. We feel like it is our job to help put a stop to it in any way we
Yes.
can. And it looks like Bria from Hivesci is going to be joining us
Bree's
tomorrow.
gonna wake up.
Yay!
Love it. So happy.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Maya Adkison. You can find me at Maya Adkison. And I do a weekly show called Bad Science Sunday, where we take a humorous approach to debunking science misinformation on the internet. And you know, my spiel is usually there's a lot of religious ideology that is kind of twisting fact and calling science misinformation. So we look at the misinformation and say, no, these are facts, this is misinformation, and try to, I don't know, kind of, we want to do it in we want to do a lighthearted approach that allows everybody to kind of slough off all the hard stuff of the last week and prepares you to go kind of cleanly into the next week of, science misinformation, political misinformation, bad religious ideology. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that we take on in the week, and come on and commune with the atheist saints in my chat.
It's such a good chat, you guys. Like, if you're looking for a good chat, you're going to find it there. Seriously, you got it. You have to watch.
I need to find a
Her comments are lit.
Yes,
it is a happening place on Sundays. Yes,
right. Yeah. So I'm AJ. My channel is called Ways to Human. And I'm not a scientist, I will warn you, but it's one of my passions. Science is one of my passions, so I understand it very well, and I love to communicate it in ways that people who don't quite understand science can have access to it, right? And I also use it sometimes to debunk, also religious ideologies. And I'm gonna be on Maya's channel again on her show, and she's gonna be on mine. We were talking about that last night.
Yep.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I'm pretty much on everybody else's here channels I have been on. Wait, no, Ryan. Have I been on yours, Ryan? You've been on mine.
Not on my channel. No, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in so long. I used to
Right.
have guests and do panels all the time, but I haven't. But hey, maybe this will inspire me. Maybe you guys will inspire me.
Well,
Maybe
start an
you're doing
interview
so much.
series, Ryan. But I know
so much
Patty
for the
and I-
damn show, though. I know it's got to be hard to also do content for yourself as well. But I do appreciate all you ladies for having been on my channel.
Yeah, so fun. And I think
Ember will be on my channel Sunday.
Sunday.
And then
the day your show is.
Oh, okay.
AJ, awesome. I need you to confirm the date, but she should be on in October.
Oh, yeah. That day was good for me. Yeah, I meant to mention.
And I guess for all viewers too, all four of you ladies have been on my and Patty's channel as well for interviews. Yeah. So, and then a couple collabs too. I think we've collabed with Ember.
Yeah, in other places. Yeah,
on specific topics. So, yay.
Yeah, bunch of
cool and stuff. I have been on Embers. It was like a last minute thing. I just hopped on and
it was one of the call-in shows.
Yeah.
Atheist live orgy. I mean, not that kind of orgy, like an atheist.
I mean, I don't have socks on. I don't know about the rest of you. But,
I don't have pants on.
Oh, hey,
what about you, Ember?
Technically, I don't have pants on either.
Ember, make sure you tell us what you're getting up to too.
Yes, I'm Ember. I am better than Ember here on YouTube. I do a whole bunch of stuff. Way too much stuff. All my links are on betterthanember.com. It's like a link tree, but it's a website. And there's other stuff there too, like resources, science about trans and intersex people, lists of creators. I've got over 100 skeptical humanist creators that I wish somebody told me about sooner. And if you're trying to find somebody, odds are they're on that list. And if they're not, tell me about it so I can add them because I want to know about them too. But I digress. On my channel, Better Than Ember, later today, I'm doing the member stream because I do a stream for my members at least once a month, whenever I can. And then immediately after, catch me on The Transpositions for the weekly news. Transpositions Weekly airs every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I do the good news part because we all need more good news. And Saturday, debate reviews with Mark Reed. Sunday, I'll be over at Maya's pretending to be a weasel. And I don't know after that. Like I said, I do a lot, hence all the links at betterthanember.com. Thank you all so much for joining. This has been a shit ton of fun. Despite the horrible topic we kind of touched on.
Can I just say, I love you all so much. And I feel so happy to call you all friends and to be able to be a part of this community that I had no idea how much I needed. So thank you.
Oh my God.
Same here, sister.
Amazing.
Yeah, and shout out to Ember for putting this epic girl stream together.
Yay! Love you. Appreciate the hard work. We know that it takes effort, so I appreciate that.
That's
right.
And we're putting you to work. Oh my gosh, what a birthday gift. Sorry.
I know, right?
Hey, hanging out with you folks is like a gift, but I am doing a birthday party on my channel. And then I'm going over to Maya's for my gift to you is bonus Ember time, apparently. Yeah.
Okay, Sunday night then. All right. Got it. I'll be
Ember. Yeah. So on Sunday is your birthday? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I feel so bad for even asking you to come on. But
I think it's a good time
on your show.
Yeah, it's a birthday present to all of us. So it's like just endless Ember. I love it.
Right.
Birthday vagina for Ember.
Yay! Well, we don't, because this is new, it's improvised. We put it together last second. We don't have videos, intros, outros, all those things, and proper sign-off taglines, I suppose. So I'll just steal a page from Surus on this one and say, insert end of video tagline here. Later, folks.
Bye.